Hi everyone, and good afternoon for the Day3 tutorial series session, where we will be having a session on introduction and unit testing with Samin. So Samin, can start.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Carol. So, good afternoon, everyone. So, today we are going to see about the unit testing. So, in this session, we will see what a unit testing means, why it matters, and what makes a good unit test. And we will see also anatomy of the unit test. We'll see also some testing frameworks other than Python. We'll see how we run tests using the unit test and the expected errors when you test something. So we expect something. So we'll see that failure is also. And we'll see also the mocking and isolation in the unit test and the best practices, and we'll see some demonstration afterwards. So before we start defining the unit test, let's see what software testing mean. So by the way, if you have any question, you can um, unmute your mic and you can ask or can write in the chat box. So what's the software testing? So a software testing is just a process of evaluating and verifying that a software application or a system meets the specified requirements and works as intended. So it basically ensures us the quality, reliability, and bug-free performance of your software. So there are different ways that helps us to test our software. For example, you can run the API test, integration test, the unit tests, PyTest, and any other things. And we have also different methodologies to do the software testing. So I just put the two of them, but we have a lot of others. And so I want to focus on the first one, which is a test-driven development, a TDD. So which is the one I want to focus on. So what is the TDD? TDD is a development methodology where you can write your test before writing the actual code, which means that before write any code, you have to first write your test. So you have to you want to, for example, if you want to add two numbers, if your module or your software is I mean the aim of your software is to add two numbers, so you need to write the test before you write your function, your software. So you have to test before writing the actual code. And when you see the BDD or the behavioral driven development, so which is defining the behavior of an application through examples and the specification before writing the code. And it emphasizes that uh, collaboration between developers and testers and business stakeholders. So in the for us, we want to use the TDD, the test-driven development, because we want to first write our test, then we'll go to the actual code. So we write, we want to, for example, if you have something that did multiplication, so you need to test first 2 times. For example, your function should result that 2 times 3 is going to be 6. So using that one, we need to write the actual code that performs the product of any two numbers. So that's what the test-driven development means. So, and you can think of another example for TDD. For example, you have a supermarket. something business. So when you use the TDD, so its TDD focuses on the function correctness in the business logic. For example, you can write a function or an app that calculates the discount for your VIP customer. And so the question is the test. Sorry, you said, are you changing the slides? Can you see this one?
So
Which slide?
we can see you are on slide 3.
Slide 3, yeah. So that's the other one I'm talking. So I'm like, I want to elaborate with examples. That's why I didn't pass the slide. So what I was saying is, for TDD, if your application calculates the discount for your VIP customer, so your test function would be, does the function correctly calculate the discount for the VIP customer? Whereas when you come to the BDD, it focuses on the behavior and the user experience from the business perspective. So it doesn't really uh, consider whether the function is correctly calculating the discount or not. So it just focus on the behavior and the user experience. So when you come to the test-driven development, TDD, we always pass through uh, three steps. So you first write your test code, and at this time, when you run the test, you will get a failure or an error. So that's why it's says red. I mean, it looks like red. So the test fails, then you write the code. After you write the test, you need to write your code, so which is the module. So last time we have seen about the modular programming. So you need to write the code according to the test. And when you do the test again, it passes, and you get the green one. So which means that your code is pass. Then if you want to expand or refactor the simple code, and if you want to add any other code, so which means you improve your code, and again, if you do the test, it passes again. So finally, you will get the clean code according to the test you have. So these are the three steps we need to follow when you use the test-driven development methodology. So what is a unit test then? So a unit test it's a practice of validating the smallest part of an application we call them units, or usually functions, classes, or any other things, and ensures each behaves as expectedly. So when you write a unit test, so we are testing individual units or functions of code individually, and we can ensure, when you test, we have to ensure that the correctness of the logic. So if that means if the function is giving you the sum of two numbers, so we need to ensure that the correctness of the logic. I mean that we need to give some examples. Examples like we can have uh, like 3 plus 5 maybe, so it gave us 8. So that would be the logic. So the function should give us 8. So in the test, we will put that kind of things. We'll see later. And it forms a foundation for a reliable software. So that's what the unit test means. So we practically validate or test the smallest part of each application and make sure that each of the application behaves as expected, as we want. So any questions so far? You can unmute and ask. Okay. Direction, you can.
Um, so is that possible to use Cucumber for unit test?
Sorry, come again.
You were talking about this TDD and BDD, so I'm saying that is that possible to use Cucumber for unit testing?
I think it's not that advisable. So like I talk about TDD because we are going to use the TDD method for unit testing, but for using Cucumber for unit tests, but it's not in general. It's not recommended. So it's because like unit tests are meant to be fast. So when you run the unit test, it should be fast and isolated. So I will talk about isolation later. Isolated test of the single piece of code. When you come to the Cucumber, um, uh, I think the Cucumber they are interacting with a browser, so it becomes a bit slower and more complex than the traditional unit testing framework. So like I would say that it's not recommended in general. Any other question? Okay. So why we need the unit tests, or why it matters? So basically, the unit tests they are good for the medium or small projects, like the one you are bringing up to here. So why it matters? Because so when you test each functions or each modules independently or in an isolation way, it helps you to detect early the bugs or any errors early, and it's easier for maintenance because when you get the errors early, you can go and check maintain what's happening there, so you can maintain whatever the error happens there. Also, it supports refactoring because once you run the clean test, then you can refactor or you can expand your software, and when you run the test, you get the same thing. So it doesn't oppose the one you have, and it increases your development confidence. Also, it's essential for automation, for the continuous integration or continuous development. So what makes a good unit test? So when you write your unit test, so it should be isolated, which means that your test code should test only one piece of logic. If it was doing the addition, it should do the addition. If it's run the division, it should do the division. So it tests only in an isolated way. And your unit test should be repeatable, which means the same you get the same result for every run. So when you run many times, you get the same result, whatever you refactor your function. And it should be independent, so it doesn't need to be dependent with external systems. So which means when you run the unit test, it doesn't oppose with your API or your database or any other systems, external systems. So you just test your code there, and you can write according to your code, and you can run the code, but it doesn't have an opposition, or it doesn't have a dependency on your database or any other external systems. And your unit test should be fast, it executes quickly, and it should be clear. So it should be easily understand when you reach the test code. So if any unit test uh, that satisfy this all of this and any others, so it's considered to be a good unit test. And there are so this is the anatomy of unit test. So when you write a unit test, so you have to arrange, or you have to set up a data, or you have to put your input. And then, so what's we call it arrange, and act, it executes the function. The function should be executed. The function is the one which is written in the module, in the scripts folder. And then, so once we execute the function, we need to assert whether we get the result what we are going to we look. So for example, if you see this example here, we have the add function, which is in the calc.py module. I have this one. Then I have to arrange or give an input data, which is 2 and 3. Then the expected result is, when you add 2 and 3, the expected result is 5. Then I have to act. So when you execute the function, which means add is the function which is written in the module, then I have this one. So I need to assert or verify the expected result. Is the function giving me the one with the expected? So I put the self-assert equal. So if the result is equal to the expected one, then my test is good. Or using this one, I need to write the function, the add function. So the add function would be def add. Then it will accept 2 inputs, A and B. Then the result is going to be A plus B. So this is one way of writing the add function. I mean the add function according to this test add function. So any question? So is that clear? So when you write a unit test, you need to follow these 3 steps. You need to arrange or give the input data, then execute, then verify. Okay, Daraja, go ahead.
Is a unit test limited to function level, or can it be extended to class levels too?
So come again. Can it be extended to?
I mean, do we write unit tests for function level only, or it can be rating for class levels?
Okay. So unit test, you can write it in a function level, but you can extend it for the individual. So, like, if I understand you correctly, so if your module is written in class, does it mean?
The question is on the chat section. You can see it over there. If I'm not audible.
Okay.
So just to reflect that,
So
I
is
think
the unit test limited to function level or can be extended to class level? I think you can extend it. So you can write your module using classes. It doesn't mean you write your module using definition only. I mean function only. So you can extend it. Sorry,
so
Carrot,
just
you
to
are.
add to that, yeah. I was just going to say that exactly. So it can be done for both function level and class level, and it's actually recommended that you have both, especially on the class level. It's recommended that you have it. That the class can be considered as a unit. So as long as it's like like the class does individual like the behavior is individual and so on. So you can do it. So you can like think of it as a class, a unit, the class as a unit, so that you can test it as such. So you can write it for those.
Okay. So let's see the testing frameworks. So there are different frameworks. We have, for example, in Python, we have the PyTest and the unit test. So these are the two frameworks that we are going to use for testing purpose. So both of them are they are frameworks, and so the difference between them is this one is the PyTest is good for the large projects, and the unit test is good for those who are for the medium or small projects. So it's recommended to use the unit test, but using PyTest also important. You can use the PyTest for smaller or for the larger one, but for unit test you use for smaller and medium projects. And if you have the Java, you use the Java unit, and for C hash, you can use the N unit, and for JavaScript, you have the jest. So these are the frameworks you are going to use for testing. And concerning on the unit test, you can run the unit test using this code here. So you can use the Python M unit test discover. So this is use this one if you want to run all the test files you have in the test folder. And if you want to run a specific file, then you use this one. So you have test, then this is the example.py. I have example.py in the module, so I should write test example.py. And I will use this one in the demonstration part. And when you write, when you run the test, you should expect that the assertion error expected, these are different errors. we expect, and we will react according to the according to the error we got. But basically, when you run, you should expect these things, and you will work on it to avoid these errors here. So in the unit test, so there is this one, we call it the unit test mock. So when you say that mocking, so which means that it's a technique in Python unit test mock. It helps us to create a simulated objects or mocks that replaces the real dependency during the unit test. So which means that when you use the unit test mock, so it basically replaces the real object with the simulated mock. For example, if you have the real one is for example, you have the data .csv file. So it will replaces the mock replaces the real data.csv with the temporary file. Yeah. And it tests. After the tests, you can it will work actually for the real one. And when you say isolation, it's the process of testing a piece of code in an isolation or in an independent way from its dependencies, by mean that it is isolated from the external systems. And mocks are here essential for this isolation because they remove the need of the test to interact with the external systems like the databases, networks, and other services that we have. So we will use this mocking in the unit test mock. And there is also add patch, so which also helps us to replace the real one with the mock one. Any question? So these are the best practices. So when you write a unit test, just keep the tests to be small and be focused, and avoid writing tests dependent on external services, and use the clear and descriptive test names. So which means that if your function is add, just write test add. It's good to be descriptive, and run the test automatically in the continuous integration, or you can also maintain a good folder structure. So always make sure that you have a good folder structure, and you are running the tests in the project root or in the test folder. That's the good way to have it. And you can see these resources. These resources are important. It's the first one. It gives you a lot of things about the unit tests. It has a lot of things. It has examples and other related things that I didn't talk here. And you can also read about the PyTest using this. You can use this link, and you get a lot of things about PyTest, how to install the PyTest, how to use PyTest to test your code, and other related things also, other important things. So you can read, you can use this resource just if you want to have, if you want to understand more. So any question? Okay, Daraja. Well, how do you integrate automated tests into CI or CD pipeline? Okay. So I think first you need to define your continuous integration workflow. Then you need to prepare your tests, and you have to set up the test environment and dependency, then integrate the test into execution into your pipeline. Okay, so let's go to the demonstration one. So let's start from the simplest one. So we have, can you see my screen? Okay. So always when you write the unit test, you need to import this unit test. So we need to import the framework, which is the unit test. Then I just write the system path. You can write the system path, or you can add your folder here, or you can, instead of this one, you just write the script one, because for example, the calc one here, if I mean the calc .py module should be in the script folder here. So if you use this one, it's okay, because it understands that you are working on the scripts folder. But if you do not want to use this one, you just come in this one and write scripts.calc. I have this one, and I import all of the function this one. Then you write your test class. So I just write this one like this one. It checks that this one checks it takes us to end3. So remember the arrange, act, and execution. It takes this one and it executes, then it asserts. So it's a one-line code. Then the same is true for the other subtract, multiply, and other things. So I want to run I want to test this one. So when I run this one, you can use the unit test discover just to run everything in the test folder, but I want to have this one. So which is the Python unit test test calc.py. So when I run this one, I get error. So it gives one test in 0.0 something second, and failed error. I get the error. So it says the module not found, no module named scripts.calc. So this is the first error you have to expect when you write a test, because so in TDD we say that we need to write the test first before writing the actual code. So I got this error. Then I need to I do not have a module calc, but instead if I write, let me rename this one, or you can just let me rename this. I have the function, this one. So this is the calc.py. It has add, subtract, and these are the functions I have in the module. Then when I run the same test, I will expect the same thing. I mean, the test will pass. And I will expect that there are 4 tests. So I have the addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So when I run, oh, okay, I get 5 tests. I think I have 5, maybe 5 functions there. So I have 5 tests and everything is okay. So the test function is this. So I run the test, then that is the red one. Then I have to write the module. Then when I run the test, I get the green one. Then I want to refactor this code here. So I have a code down there. So which is, let me comment this one. And let me have this. So I just rewrite this function, the above function here, and like this one. So I need to have the function which validates the numbers first, then it did the addition, subtraction, and other extra things. Yeah. Then I refactor the first one. Then let's see what will I get when I run. So again, if I run this one, I'll get the same thing. It runs 5 tests and it's okay there. So that's what the TDD method helps us for this unit testing. So this is for the simplest calculator. And let's do for the one we saw it in the last time. So let's see for the test plots. We have this one. So I already have the function here, but just write according to the I mean following the TDD method. But for me, just I have the test plot utils and I have the module also here. So I have this function, but before that you need to write the test one. So the test function is written like this. I commented every. Okay, I will comment every single line of the code, and I will push it in on the GitHub. So the test function is this one. So you should import the unit test, and I have the unit test mock, and this unit test mock, which is going to be replace the real one with the mock one. And that one is done using this patch one, patch here. So I have this one, and I can run this test, whether it's going to work. So I have this test cal. So let me. So I have test plot. So I have this one. So when I run this one, so I get this one. So Python name is not yeah. So the error is this one because I need to have space here. Yeah, it ran one test because and it says again it's error, no module named test plotlets. Yeah, I see the error. So because I get this error, because my folder is tests, not test. I have this one, then I'll get the correct. Yeah, it ran 4 tests and the test passes. So we have 4 because I have the scatter plots and the line plots and what else? The prediction plot, and there is also the line plot. I have 4 function in the plot utils file, so which is the class. I think it will answer your question, Daraji. So I have this class unit, and it has 4 function here. Then the test is also, I mean, it's written according to the test function here. I mean the test code here. So when you run this one, you get the correct test. And if you want to refactor or expand this code again, you get the same thing. It's expected. So you can do the same thing uh, for the other models also. I mean for the other modules also here. And one thing I have to show you is, so you can run this one. So you can also run, you use the Python M unit test discover, and so I put it this tests dot p tests dash dot py means this one. It will tell you that just discover everything that is written with test. So I have test. I have test calc, test load data, test model, test something. So when I write test, this asterisk, so which means collect everything in the tests folder, which starts with tests, test underscore something. .py. So when I run this one and this minus b, it indicates that the test is run under the modular or tutorial route. So in this route, so when you say that if the test is run in the route here, so you just use minus b. Then if I run this one, it will run everything in the tests folder. So there are 17 tests I have. So that means in this one I have 4. This one also I have 4 or something. Then in general it runs 17 tests, and all of the tests are passed. So this is all I want to show you. I will push all of the codes in the GitHub, and I will send you the link. I mean, I will share you the link. Any question? Is everything clear? Okay. So you say, I think it's better if you show us how to integrate automated tests into CI or CD pipeline. So for the time being, I do not have the prepared CI or CD pipeline, but I can show you next.
Okay, I think if there is no question, I think we can wrap up the session here. And yeah, Mogasa, we will have another session. This is for just for introducing you to unit test, and on the next session we will have like a a bigger dive, a deeper dive into the testing and other methods of testing. So we will see there. Thank you so much, and we will also share the material on Slack and on Google Drive. Thank you guys for joining. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.